Hi there, that's good. I was trying to find a good space where I could sit so that I could talk and be outside at the same time. And so this is on the bench where at the school we often sit for lunch and enjoy our flowers and herbs and the dogs. This will be a different video. This is the first video after, is it the first one? I think it is the first video, maybe second actually, since Teacher and Wizard passed away. My two dogs that always bark in the background. So this might be an unusual new era lot of videos where my dogs don't bark in the background because Teacher and Wizard were the most barky. Anyway, I'm going to get on with the conversation of what we're talking about today, and I put out a video and asked for some requests, and one of them was what to do when you first qualify as a massage therapist. And I love that because when I teach level 3 A&P, I always talk about this. And the first thing I do say is it's a little bit like when you pass your driving test for the first time and you've done all your lessons and you're prepared and you've done it and you pass, and then you sit in the driver's seat by yourself and you're like, oh my God, I'm in the car by myself. And similarly, you get into the treatment room and you're sort of there by yourself and it's like, but that's not actually the bit that I wanted to talk to you about, because it's more sort of what you need to do. And I haven't made any notes, I just wanted to talk about it and see what comes up. But certainly that's always a conversation is like, it's always going to be a little bit nerve-wracking to get your certificate and then start doing massages and paying for them. I think one of the first things that happened is I was doing sort of payment, and I was going, that's £30. I think in the old days, like 30 odd years ago, that's £30, it's £40. Is that all right? I think I said that. It's like, is that all right? So I invite you never to say, is that all right? It's a little bit like, how you would if you were working in a spa or a salon or a shop and you were selling something and you go, that's £25, please, thank you so much. And you'd quite happily hand over a product and take the money for it and say thank you very much and put it in a bag and there's your receipt. And you have to get the same vibe on for this is treatments, and that'll be £45, please, thank you so much. And sometimes when people hand me money for some of my services, I say, I hope that flies back into your wallet tenfold. And also just to sort of respect that this is what you're doing for your work now, this is what you're doing for your business. So that's something that I like to share with new practitioners is not to be afraid to charge, and not to think that just because you're newly qualified that you have to undercharge. It may be that while you're building up a new client base that you might need to do some offers just to sort of have it as an incentive for people who want to come and try out. I hope this video doesn't get muffled because of the wind. It's not too windy, but I hope it doesn't come across. And so that's a really important part of it is knowing your worth and knowing to trust and not undercharge. But you can do introductory offers, which I think are quite nice to get people in and to know you. So before that, actually, you need to get your insurance. So if you're not sure of which insurance company to go to, I recommend Westminster Insurance. And if you go to the School of Fine Tuning homepage and scroll down midway, there's a purple logo with Westminster on it. And if you go through that, you get a School of Fine Tuning, a little bit of discount there. But I think Westminster are great. They really cover so many modalities. Certainly for myself, I work with dogs. I'm an acupuncturist, moxa. All my complementary therapies, they sponsor me as a tutor and as a school. And for all my dog things, I can just see that fire. I don't know what she's got there. So I'm left with 2 dogs now, from 4 to 2. Here's Monk as well. Monk's coming out. So that's certainly what you need to do first of all, is to get your insurance. And then depending on where you want to work, It might be that you're choosing to work with a collaborative, in like a collective, so that it might be that you're going in and renting a room. It might be in a collective space, in a communal space. It might be that you are choosing to work from home. It might be that you're doing a cabin in your garden. It might be that you're going mobile. And so really what you want to be doing is really thinking around what you need to kit yourself out. So I'm sure that you will have a table anyway, because you will have done your case studies. But, you need your table, your towels, your oils, music and everything. And so if you're choosing where to go, you've got to decide how much, I hope it's not picking up some kids playing in the gardens here. But you want to consider how much you want to take home. And so sometimes you have to weigh up that if you're entering into a workspace where they're going to do all the marketing for you, they're going to provide the bed, maybe provide the towels, maybe provide everything, and you're just walking in and doing the treatments, that you may not take home as much as you would if it was your space and you were paying the rent, but then you would have all those overheads. So even if you were charging £45, you would have your room rent, your towels, your products, and all of that expense to cover. So if you're working from home and you're setting up either you've got a home spare room that you're setting up as a treatment space, then you don't have as many overheads. And then you can decide whether or not you can make your prices a little more competitive. There is a separate video that I made a while ago about not being too cheap and not being too competitive, because I think that's a little bit unethical within the business, is to be charging, to be really good at massage and charging £25, because then everybody will go to you. And I just think that's a bit sketchy, really, personally. There's plenty of people to go round, and there's plenty of people to receive your treatments, but I just think that in your area you should try and align yourself with what the going rate is. However, if you haven't got those overheads, some people with massive overheads are charging £75 and more. I mean, we at the retreat, we have to charge £75 because I pay my therapists really, really well. And I want really good therapists, and I have really good therapists, thank you girls. But I have to pay for that, and I have to pay quite a high room rent because it's at the retreat and it's gorgeous. Plus I want white luxury fluffy towels, so I pay for a linen service, laundry service. And then I blend beautiful oils and have tropic skincare, and that's, it's all an added expense, and it's quite a high expense. But I want my offerings to be fantastic, and not to say that yours won't be fantastic, but you have to sort of calculate what your overheads are, and then figure out how much you want to take home and what you can realistically afford to charge and take home. So that pricing, and it also depends actually on where you live, because it's very different in London than it is in Birmingham or Coventry or York, or wherever you're watching from. Hello. And have a think about what the actual price point is, so that it's fair and in line. Okay, so that's that. And then, so once you've decided where you're going to work, you really do need to get on socials. I mean, that is the thing, is you need to get on socials and start sharing and showing and sharing. Oh my God, what's she got in her mouth? Fire, what have you got? She's been digging up my garden. She's a keen gardener, this one. She's an Italian Spinoni. She's come round with something amazing in her mouth. What have you got, doll? What have you got? Oh, okay. It's a branch of some description. She's been digging up my strawberries this morning. So, gone are the days where we put a sign up in our local health food shop, or even doing flyers. I don't know. I mean, I think some flyers are good, actually. I think I got something in my letterbox for something. Oh, I know what it was. It was the local garden centre, and they were doing an offer, and I was like, I would never have known that actually had I have not picked it up in my letterbox. So I went up to the local garden centre and bought some hellebores. Anyway, so you could do flying, but I think the social media, the word of mouth, The events, I would go and sort of see if there are any events, any sort of holistic fairs or any sort of events that you can join. And you do some tasters, do some intros, get yourself there, get yourself seen. I think that is really it, is to get yourself seen, and social media is good. Get your hashtags really good. So you want to get your hashtags, all your local hashtags, hashtag massage, hashtag massage in Bournemouth, Dorset, and all your hashtags really on point so that people are seeing you, and that's really important. There's Facebook groups, local Facebook groups, and they might have a marketing day, like a marketing first day of the month, and then you can share yourself. And it really is, about word of mouth, and it takes time. Any business takes, a year. And so it's not to sort of be two or 3 weeks in and you're not attracting customers. It takes graft. And even after all this time, and I've been in this business for nearly 30 years now, not yet 27, but nearly 30 years, and I am still on a daily basis marketing myself and sharing and promoting and doing videos like this. And you want to be, the whole marketing conversation is a different conversation, and I do mentoring and workshops for that, talking about how best to promote yourself and how best to share yourself in marketing and socials and YouTube. What else? So you need your kit. You need to consider where you're going to. If you're going to do mobile, again, just be really careful how you market yourself and how you promote yourself, and the words that you use and where and what platforms. I don't think Gumtree is advisable. I constantly hear that if you're on Gumtree, you get calls from inappropriate clients. So I wouldn't go on Gumtree. Again, just socials and word of mouth. If you've got friends and family, just get them to talk and share. I think it is good to have business cards. I think that your business card can go in your bag and just share whenever you're talking, to say, yeah, I do mobile massage. The thing about mobile massage, by the way, I had this conversation with a student the other day who does mobile. Some people think that because you do mobile, you should charge less because you don't have many overheads, for example, of a treatment room. And I actually think the opposite. I think if you're doing mobile, you actually charge more, because first of all, you take, either half an hour or an hour to get there set up, and an hour to go home and sit down and go home. And then you're creating a service for somebody in their home, which is luxury, not to be, some people want to go out, if they've got a hectic household or they work from home and they've got kids or, busy at home, then it's nice to get out, and they might seek out the practitioner where they go away and go out the house. But actually, for a therapist to come to you to set up, sort of 6-7 o'clock at night or whatever time it is, to set up, and then for you to just roll on and roll off and they pack up and you go, I think is a luxury. I actually think that is a luxury. So whatever you're charging, I would add £10 or even 15 compared to, depending on what your reach is. So, you can have a sort of 5 mile, 10 mile variable call out fee, basically. And we'll have a bit of barking from these two. No, not. So that's that. Now, what else do you need to do? Your insurance, your kit, where you're going to work from. Uniform, it depends. That's a conversation that I have often. What to wear. Now, some people love wearing uniform. They feel really comfortable and smart and fine in uniform. I personally don't think you need to have a uniform like the polyester uniform, but I do think that it's good to look sharp. And I think it's great if you want to have a t-shirt with your logo printed on it. It feels great. I remember years ago I had, my first fine tuning t-shirt. I wish I had that because it was cool. It was a sort of 3/4 length white with this sort of really square low neck. I was younger and a bit more fit and, sassy, but it was great actually, and I loved having my fine tuning on the back. So I do like a bit of logo merch, but you could just wear, like a nice colour, or, just look really clean and fresh and lovely, but you don't necessarily have to have a you know, the uniform that possibly you might have been told to wear at college. These two are playing, which is nice. And then there's some dripping going on in the background. So maybe the outside venue was not was not the best choice. But anyway, it's just nice to be outside. Dogs. Let's talk about dogs at your home venue. I actually think it's, you know me at the School of Fine Tuning. I don't mind dogs in my venues at all. I do prepare people for it and tell people very, very clearly, and I'm very transparent about it. And if somebody has allergies or doesn't like dogs or doesn't get on with them, then I'm not the school for them, or I'm not the treatment room for them. I mean, up at the retreat, actually, in the New Forest, we are dog friendly there as well, and we've got dog baskets in our store cupboard in case anybody ever wants to bring their pooch up. So I'm a complete dog lover, of course, and obviously Fire doesn't come in my training room. She's in the house, but she doesn't come in because she's very large. She's Italian Spinoni, and she's like a small pony. So she can come in and say hello, but she doesn't stay in because she's big. But Teacher, bless him, who passed away a week ago. Oh gosh, don't make me cry. He was always in. He's a Westie. He was always in. So you know, you can choose. I think the thing is allergies. So you just want to make people aware. And as long as, I mean, Teacher used to fart. I mean, properly fart. So, you know, you can find your way with that. I mean, some people are absolutely no pets in the salon at all, in the spa. Not in the spa, obviously. I think spa is not appropriate. But if you've got a room in your house, because lots of people have talked to me about that. They said, you know, you've got dogs here. What do you think about dogs in treatment rooms? And even when I do treatments here, Monk would be more than allowed in, and Teacher would have been in, and Wizard would have been allowed in. And some people absolutely love it, to have the doggy energy. Look at this Spinoni, oh my God, she's amazing. She's amazing, she's huge. She's gorgeous. She's so well-mannered as well. So if your dog's well-mannered, it's brilliant. Okay, we're up to 17 minutes. Let me think if there's anything else. I hope so. Uniform, kit, where to buy from. I mean, you know, I buy my kit and at various places actually, but my oils I always buy from Naissance. Shout out to Naissance. And the soapery from Amazon is good. I buy oils from Wide Eye, from Neal's Yard, from Star Child. I've got a little collection. I blend my own aromatherapy oils, so if you wanted to get into that, then come and train aromatherapy with me and do that. And other products from all my facial products are all from Tropic. So, and I've also got Neal's Yard, but and Weleda. So, you know, you find your kit that you're aligned with if you're doing facials. What else do you need setting out, first of all? I'm just trying to think what it would be like to just be starting, and how do you get started? Kids next door, they're very cute. They're little, they're cute. Because it is very daunting, and I think that's the thing, is just to... I think when I first qualified, I got a job at Holmes Place in London and a couple of other gyms, and so I sort of had a few placements. And yes, you know, you have to give them quite a big cut, but it was just a really good experience. You know, going to work for a spa is great. It may not pay great, but it's a really good experience to go and get your craft, you know, practiced. I'm going to move because the kids are in the garden. Just 1 second. I'm going to take you inside. 1 sec. You know, to get your craft really on point, and you know, just to really be confident, and then, you know, you can make that choice or that decision whether you're going to move into your own realm. Some people need a regular income, and I really get that. Let me put that here. You know, some people really need a regular income, and I get that. I did too. I worked at a spa. I was teaching at an FE college for 15 years because I needed a regular income to pay my rent and support my boys and support myself. So I did a bit of all of it. I was teaching, I was working from home, I was working, doing some mobiles and pamper parties for other people, and, you know, it was all there. And it might be that you do have to do blended work. I think blended work is the thing of the now, actually. And I do blended work myself. Even within my umbrella and realm, my work is blended. I'll be doing some retreat days and gong baths and so, yeah, and I think, doing CPD, that's why I love to teach CPD and give you some more strings to your bow and some more modalities to share. I think it's quite good so that, some people just want to specialize in one area. They want to be a reflexologist and that is it. And that's absolutely cool. And then some, we want to be multi-trained. I went for the multi-trained. Just because I love learning and I love studying, and it's ongoing, my learning and studying, and I'm 54 and I started when I was, just before I was 30, like I was 20, I don't know, I was 27, something like that when I started, 28. And it's been ongoing. So, what am I saying there is just to be able to blend and do, so that if you were to work for a spa, that you're an all-rounder, that sort of thing, or specialise. So I don't know where I'm going with that one really, other than, sometimes you do need a bit of a fixed full-time job, not full-time, part-time, and start slowly. I think to sort of think that you're going to, do Indian head and Reiki and then make a full-time job of it, I think it's not doable, but certainly in this climate at the moment, it's quite difficult. It's challenging. I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's challenging. So, it might be that you work in a spa and you do that, and then you do, a coffee shop or a library, or I don't know. It's just to sort of blend it into work modalities that you love. I'm not gonna sort of go on about that too much, because for me, I've always done blended work. So I've always done this industry, but I've worked, like I was teaching and then a spa and then da. So I did lots of different things. And then eventually you do get fully booked, and eventually you can leave your stable job to go full-time self-employed. I think that's where I was going with it. Menopause. Don't blame the menopause. But that's where you want to go with it, is that it takes time to build. And then once you have got there, you can then literally launch into this as a full-time business. And you get regular clients. You need around, I don't know what it is anymore, but I think I had about 30 clients that were rotating, maybe not 30, maybe 20, maybe that's a bit more fair, 20 clients that were always rotating, so that there was always, because some come every 2 weeks, some come once a month, some are every week. You can do incentives and offers and pay up front and just keep sharing. When I was first going out in business, there was no social media. It was notices on a notice board in the health food shop, and flyers and word of mouth, and really just working for other people and then telling people and building. So social media is great. It's really good. Really use it for your benefit. And I can do a separate video about socials, because for me, socials is like a hobby. It's my hobby. I love taking photographs, and I love the photography element of, doing some really creative content and showing what I do. So as a school, I still have to keep that fresh and alive, and I still have to keep people interested in what I'm doing. Okay, now that's 23 minutes, and I think that's probably as much as you'd like to watch. So there are a couple of other subjects that people have requested. So I will have a look at those lists and come back and do another one. But I hope that's covered everything that I was thinking of. I think be brave. Be brave. Tell people you're great. Maybe that's something that I also, it's like, don't be shy of telling people that you're a great therapist. I have no trouble telling people that I'm a good therapist or that I'm a good tutor, because I know that I know my stuff. I'm confident. So if you need to do confidence building and knowing your stuff and practicing, then that's what you need to do to get yourself to a confident space And when you're in a confident space, you attract, and your treatments are good. If your treatments aren't good and you're not getting people rebooking, give me a call, come and do some mentoring with me, and I'll give you my opinion and fill any gaps of learning or polish your treatment. If you don't feel confident with what you're delivering, then I am the woman for you. There you go. So, I'm confident what I can do, and I'm confident, and I know that I can facilitate and enable therapists to be fantastic and to thrive in their business, and to be great therapists. And I am more than confident delivering that and making that happen. So do get in touch. And so, just be brave and confident and know your stuff, and go for it, and ask people to talk about you and ask people to share about you. I think that's really is, and then you will find, that people do talk and come. And as long as you're good, you have to be good. You have to be good. You can't be delivering, or you have to at least be good at what you're saying you're delivering. You can't be saying that you're doing deep tissue massage and you don't. You can't be saying that you're doing such and such a facial and you're not delivering that. So that's, you have to be good at your craft to really grow your business. And so if it's confidence you need, I am your woman. If you don't live near me, I teach on Zoom. And that's really the thing. And then it's just being ballsy, if I'm allowed to say that on YouTube. I think you are, but it is about being ballsy and just being on it and entrepreneurial, and just that. I think if you're really good, you'll just be booked anyway. That's what, and a good price point. So a fair price point and really good, you will grow. It might take 6 months to a year. It might very well do, but just be patient, and then it will grow. And if you're sort of thinking that you're doing enough, then again, jump on. I do a lot of mentoring, by the way. It's on my website. It's under spa and salon training or something like that. There's a drop down with mentoring. So I do quite a lot of mentoring and just getting people on track, and and I can do multiple mentoring. So we can do 1 or 2 hours or whatever you want, and have it spaced out so that I keep you accountable. I think maybe that's it, is business accountability sometimes. So and I'm going to be doing in the summer some more massage refresher retreats if you want to refresh your massage skills. And last time we did massage refresher and business in one day. It wasn't enough of the massage and it wasn't enough of the business. So I might make it 2 days. It's just that makes it a little bit more expensive, but could do 2 days. So we do massage all one day and business all the other day. I think that'd be great, actually. Thumbs up for that. So that's it. Now we're up to 27 minutes, nearly 28. That's half an hour of your fabulous time. But I'm hoping that it's half an hour really well spent, and that you've got something from this. If there's anything else, let me just think before I go. If there's anything else about setting up, let me think about that when I'm just setting up. I think for me, I would join a group somewhere and try not to go it alone straight away. I think that's what I would do. Maybe get 1 or 2 days in a spa, and then rent a room or work from home, and just try and, build a little bit of a vibe. Okay. And then, you have to decide whether you're going to do, here's another thing. Oh my goodness. Okay. You've got the time, a bit more. You've got to decide whether you're going to do women only, men and women, couples. You've got to decide this is maybe another into marketing, but who your target market are, and just talk to them, talk to that space, so that you know who you're talking to. Is it, are you specializing? Are you niche? Are you an ex-nurse in colon care or in cardiology? Are you a clinical aromatherapist? Are you flower remedies? This is the inspiration from my lovely lady that I met last week. And just sort of looking at who you specialize and who you talk to, and hit that market. Again, there's no point for me trying to sort of reach out to the sports therapy space, because that's not me. That's not what I do. I'm pure holistic energy, TCM, Japanese medicine, macrobiotics. That's my world, aromatherapy, all of that. Although I'm not woo-woo, so I don't, can I say that again? You know, maybe I don't appeal to, I'm not going to say woo-woo, but, you know, more, I'm not going to say anything about that, but I've got to think about who I appeal to and who my target market is. And in fact, you know, I will attract those people, and then I see who my target market is based around my socials and the way I present myself. I attract a type of student and a type of therapist and a type of client. And then I see who I'm attracting, and I'm like, right, well, you're my client. Okay, great. I'm going to speak to them in my socials and in my marketing strategies. So we can do more on that. We can do more of a businessy one, but that might take a while. I mean, like, that could be a couple of hours. So maybe we'll do that as a Zoom, a little workshop on that. Okay, what else just before I go? So I'm starting off. Who am I targeting? Where am I going? What do I need to buy? I'm insured. Again, business-wise, I'm not going to go into this now, but things like tax, you do need to be self-employed. You do need a sort of tax reference code, like a unique reference code. Is it called a unique reference code? You know, you need to get in touch with HMRC. And well, you will have done this on your business modules, but you need to get in touch with HMRC and register yourself as self-employed if you're going to be doing this as a business. You can be employed and self-employed. So when you do your tax return, I mean, if your employed employer takes care of all of that, then that's fine, it's taken care of. But then you need to do a self-assessment tax return. And so that's something that you would need to consider as well. So yeah. It's all there, and like I said, if you want to do a business Zoom, I can do that, and then we can just do like a Q&A and I can answer those. But you would need to get yourself registered. Certainly don't need to be VAT registered at all. You can also sign up to, you know, places like Capital or Sally, or places you can get like a little trade, you know, trade number or trade discount, and you can buy things trade. And yeah, I think that's it. Now we're on to 32 minutes. So yeah, get yourself registered as self-employed. You don't need to do anything for the first year because, you know, as you know, it goes a year in advance. And here's my husband coming home. That's great. A good time for me to end. So, so much love to you. I hope that helps. And yeah, I hope that helps. If you do have any questions, sometimes I can't get back to comments and things straight away because I see them come up as I'm checking emails, and then there's my husband. He's wondering what I'm doing standing here talking. But I'm going to go because he's going to come in a minute. He's going to be idle. Okay, so thanks for watching. It's been a bit of a long one, but, you know, grab a cup of tea, and no, too late to grab a cup of tea. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch up with you again with more things to talk about with industry, and hopefully show you a few demos and bits and pieces. Okay, lots of love. Thank you so much. Check out theschooloffinetuning.com, on socials at the School of Fine Tuning. Follow me, thumbs up, share. Yeah, lots of love. Bye.